Rear brake shoe replacement. It's one of those fiddly jobs I hate. Compared to front discs, they're very fiddly with lots of bits, springs, etc, etc, etc. And if the slave cylinder's gone, you're going to have to replace those as well. So what do you need to do the job? You need a 32mm socket to take the wheel off. You need a wrench for the tyre wrench to get these nuts off, take the wheel off. You'll need a small hammer. You'll need a screwdriver or two. You need long nose pliers, or maybe two, but that should be enough. And of course a pair of gloves and spanners if you need to take the master cylinder off, along with a bleed kit. Let's hope you don't have to do that, although it can be a precautionary job. You'll be working a lot without the brake on, so remember to chock the wheels all the way around for safety. So underneath this little cover is a large 32mm bolt that holds the hub on. We don't need to take these spigots off. And you can get this off just with a screwdriver and just tapping it with a hammer and going around carefully so as not to dent it. Just working your way around and it will pop off. Somewhat surprisingly, given the wheel rotates this way, it's a standard thread. So this way to undo, anti-clockwise, clockwise to tighten. So it needs to be very tight because that's all that's holding the wheel on. This is a 32mm nut that holds the wheel on. It's on very tight, so you'll either need an impact driver or socket and an extension bar. And the only thing I'll say is when you take it off, do it with the wheel. So first of all you need to take, as we just saw, you have to take off this little cap, then put the wheel back on and do it with the wheel on the ground to avoid because you need to put a lot of pressure on this to avoid the car dropping off the jack. So here you see the brake. This is the slave cylinder. That's the handbrake cable there, which is attached here. So putting the handbrake forces the brake shoes out. This is the self-adjust mechanism. There's a little L-shaped thing here, and as the brakes wear, this adjusts and pushes the shoes out, and usual kind of gubbin springs and things that we've got in our replacement kit. So what we have to do is take these little spring clips off, which you have to do by pushing in and turning that, and then remove the whole assembly, put the new shoes on. It's easier to assemble it largely off the car. So we'll start with these. So these little clips here are a bit tricky to get out. What you have to do is push the string in and then turn that bit. It's easy to turn. And there. That's done. We need to repeat for this side. Now, practically remove this as a unit. See the yeah. We need to remove the handbrake cable. That just with a screwdriver on the spring here. Or even pull. And leave that up. So what I've done here is line things up pretty much as I want it to go back together. I'll move the self-adjust mechanism across, put the top spring on, and then I'll put everything back on the hub. So there, apart from the handbrake cable and the bottom string, it's reassembled. Top spring, self-adjuster. You have to tighten that, wind that right in, and then adjust it out a little bit to when you put the hub on, just to make sure it's well, first of all the shoes aren't touching, but they're just off the hub. So here, reassembled. Be careful not to contaminate the brake shoes. Top spring, self-adjust, and we just got to put on this bottom string, so we put these clips back on to make sure the whole thing doesn't pop off while we're doing that. Okay, you can release now. Release it. Okay, and now try the foot brake, but very, very gently on the foot brake. Just push a bit. Stop. Let go.